I kind of alluded to it earlier, but I was single for most of my 20s in ministry and traveling. Actually, no, that's not true. I worked at a church for 13 years. And then I've been on the road for the past 7 years. And the first kind of 6 of those, I was with my band and just kind of traveling around. And every time I'd get home and I'd get home to an empty house, it was like, God, if you want to go ahead and fix this, my hair's not getting any grayer. Browner. I could really use a wife. And so one night I just thought, I spent my first 2 years of college kind of running away from loneliness, like most college students do, doing all sorts of things. And I thought, well, maybe this time I won't run away from it. Maybe I'll write a song. That's a good idea. And I said, what do I write a song about? And I said, I don't know. I'll write a song about, my future wife. What would I want to say after I've been married for 15, 20 years? And this song came out. I had no idea where the words came from because I wasn't married. And I was like, what does this mean? There's this whole part in the bridge that says, if you need me in the middle of the night, my dear, I'll stay awake till morning light and chase away your fears. I thought, am I going to marry somebody who's afraid of the dark? Like, I need to invest in nightlights for my house. Like, what are you saying, God? And I had no idea. A couple of years passed, and I just thought it was a pretty song. And then I found myself, I was on the phone with my manager, and I'm telling her the story, and she's like, that's funny. It sounds like that song you wrote. And the story was this. The story was that I was on the phone late one night with this woman who I was sort of pursuing, and she, up until this point, she wasn't really interested. And she called, because she's like, I'm really sorry to be calling you, but I had a really bad dream and you were in it. Ladies, just never. Don't kick a man when he's down, But she says, she goes, no, at the end of the dream you were there and you told me you were praying for me. And so we prayed together over the phone, and so the next day I'm telling my manager this story, and she's like, that reminds me of that song you wrote a couple of years ago. You know, the one that said, if you need me in the middle of the night, my dear? And I just thought, oh, wow, I'm pursuing my wife right now. I gotta get my A game on. I don't want to blow this anymore. And 4 months later, we got engaged. So I share that story to simply say this, to say that if you're a young adult or you're here tonight and you're in college, your loneliness can be a powerful opportunity for you actually to turn around and give that and ask God to make something beautiful with it. And I had no idea when I wrote the song that would happen, but it was just a reminder to me that He's listening. And when we'll go to Him, not just in our great moments, but in our low moments, He'll transform it somehow and make it beautiful. It's called Lonely Love. I still want you. Yes, I need you. Have I to hold you after all of these years? I will listen to your problems. Won't try to listen. Just wipe away your tears. And if you need me in the middle of the night, my dear, I'll stay awake till morning light and chase away your fears. So come closer, right here forever, deep in my heartbeat, together as one. My didn't tell you is that when I wrote that song and I sang it the first time, I distinctly kind of heard God saying to me, that's not about you singing to your future wife. So that's me singing to you right now. And then I had kind of an awkward moment at my kitchen table. Because men are not adequately prepared for that sort of messaging. It would have been much cooler if he said, hey, there's a sale at Bass Pro Shop this weekend. You want to go four-wheeling and we could blow something up. But that's not what he said. So I want to sing this again, and maybe you wouldn't think about your spouse or the one that's at home or the one that you wish you had, the one that got away, even the failed one. Instead, you just hear the voice of a God who loves you right where you are. And knowing in that and walking in that and trying to receive that, it doesn't take away your problems, make them magically disappear. It just means that there's one who's with you and he will never leave you or forsake you. I still want you. Yes, I need you to have and to hold you after all of these years. I will listen to your problems. I won't try to fix them. Just wipe away your tears. And if you need me, and I'm in the night, my dear, I'll stay awake till morning light and chase away your fears. So come closer, right here forever, deep in my heartbeat, together as one. My only love, my only love, my only love. See, what I've realized in my life is that even in my marriage, even when I was single, the whole point of my whole life and my whole existence was that God was trying to call me into union with Him. He's constantly trying to draw us in, to be close to Him, to be intimate with Him. And I want to bring out Sean and Melissa from Bellarine. Yeah, you can give them a round of applause. See, there's a lot of different denominations here tonight, a lot of different maybe churches represented. And regardless of our doctrinal differences, this spiritual reality still exists. That God calls us into communion with Him. He calls us into union with Him. We have different ways of phrasing that, of practicing that. But at the heart of it is still the same truth that has not wavered, it hasn't changed in Christianity. So I thought it'd be great if we could, as being people from different denominations, that we could take two songs that we wrote, a song that I wrote about the Eucharist, which I actually wrote it with a Protestant. And if we could combine it with the song that they wrote, just to simply remind us tonight that maybe, hopefully, your vision for the church could actually get a little bit bigger. That it could be bigger than just the church you go to every Sunday. It could be bigger than your youth group, or your college group, or your school. that God might start to expand your vision to try to reach out to other people who follow this man named Jesus.